I'm going to share with you a niche compliment magnet fragrance. I have loved this thing since the first time that I tried it, and it is a unisex fragrance, but it goes more in the masculine direction. It's my scent of the day, and it's called Ferris by Kajal Perfumes. All right. As always, if you do want to try this fragrance, I will have a discount link in the description box below and in the comment section so you can pick up a sample or a bottle if you want to. All right. Now, what does Ferris smell like? It's this very fresh, aromatic fragrance. There are 3 notes in the opening that catch my attention. The first is apple, and then you get a little bit of lemon. But the third note is something that when I first smelled this scent, I immediately thought of Elysium. I'm like, ooh, that kind of reminds me of Elysium. I'm not saying they smell exactly the same, but there's one thing in common between both these scents that I really love. And I swear to you, it's juniper berry. I really think that it is juniper berry. All right. Now, in the dry down of this scent, it smells like the opening, just more toned down with a touch of sweetness. There is some vetiver, there's some patchouli. I think there's some amber and woodiness, but I don't really pick up on much of that. You know, like if you do find it, I think you would have to like really go smelling for it. But for the most part, you get the opening just a little bit more calm, just with a little bit of sweetness. If you go hug somebody, or if somebody smells you in passing, they're not going to say, ooh, wow, that person smells really earthy. It smells very woody. Like, you know, it's not that type of scent that's going to completely transform. Now, real fast, the type of person I do not see wearing Ferris. These are the people that I do not recommend this scent to. If you fall in this category, you can just exit out of this video right now. But if you are a niche connoisseur that is looking for a unique, game-changing, bold fragrance, you're not going to like this. And I'm going to make an assumption that the criticism that's going to come with Ferris is that it's too basic. That is probably what you're going to hear. It's like, oh, like it's been played out before. It's nothing special. Things like that. Those are the type of comments you're going to hear with Ferris from those particular types of people. All right. So unfortunately, it's not something that has never been done before. This is definitely something that you have smelled a lot of. All right. Now, to me, here is the downside of Ferris, is that even though it's mass appealing, it doesn't really have much of an identity. You know, there's some fragrances out there that when I smell them, I'm able to tell y'all like, ooh, this is the type of person I see wearing it, or this is the vibe, this is the sort of situation, this is the experience and the feeling that I get when I smell this fragrance. But I don't get any of that with Ferris. It's kind of similar to Amres Homme, not in the smell, but in a way that literally anybody can throw it on and they'll smell good. You know, so that could be a huge upside. If you are somebody that wants a safe, easy to like fragrance that you can daily wear, you're going to like Ferris. Like this is something that you cannot go wrong with. I call scents like this chameleon fragrances because they blend into whatever you make them. So let's say you're going on a lunch date. It's going to smell good. Let's say you're going to school. You're going to work. You're going to a fancy dinner. You're going to a gala. You're going to a wedding. You can throw on Ferris and know you're going to smell good, and you know that you're going to be confident in the fact that people around you are going to think you smell good as well, because it just has that sort of mass appeal. And here's another question, not a question actually, more of a statement that people have commented and they've DM'd me about. They're like, Ferris is like a niche Dior Sauvage, not worth it, you know? And to me, I don't really see it as a Sauvage fragrance, but here's the similarity that I see, is that it falls in that same category as a modern, masculine, aromatic fragrance, really, like Sauvage, like Y by YSL, like Bleu de Chanel. You know what I mean? They're just things that, you know, like when you smell scents like that, those are the types of fragrances that you smell in a majority of guys out there, you know? So this is not a daring scent, but I guess I could see, I can't really see that much of a Sauvage similarity with it. I do find that if there is a Sauvage that I could compare this to, definitely wouldn't be the Elixir. Haven't tried the Parfum, so I can't speak on that. And it wouldn't be the EDT. The EDT is very different from this fragrance, but maybe the EDT, all right? But I do find that Dior Sauvage EDT, yes, it's a nice fragrance, but it's a bit too screechy for my liking. It is a bit sharp, a bit rough around the edges, and I think that Ferris gets rid of all those problems. This isn't something that is going to just like be too sharp. You know, it's a very well balanced, well-rounded, very well blended, high quality sort of fragrance. It doesn't smell synthetic at all. just really, really gorgeous. So if you're somebody that is looking for something like Sauvage or something, and just, I don't even want to say Sauvage, something in that modern masculine sort of scent, but just well-rounded, then go for something like this. You know, I think if you enjoy fragrances like Percival by Parfums de Marly, I think you're gonna like Ferris as well. But yeah, with the whole Sauvage comparison, I just think it's because this smells so modern, you know, and you're gonna hear criticism of this fragrance like you hear with Sauvage of, oh, it's so basic, everybody wears it. But you really have to remember it, and you have to understand that the internet is not reality, okay? When you hear people on the internet shitting on a niche fragrance, saying everybody owns it and it's too basic, I will literally guarantee you that if you talk to your friends right now, and even you just saying the words niche fragrance, they're not going to know what the hell you're talking about, okay? People do not know niche fragrances. So for somebody to say, oh, Ferris is overrated and everybody wears it, I can promise you right now, if I grab 20 people on the street, if I grab 100 people on the street, none of them will have this fragrance, okay? It's just like the fragrance community is very small in comparison to the rest of the world. So don't think that it reflects the general public by any means, okay? So if you're somebody, let's say, this is who I would recommend this fragrance to, is if you don't want to have designer fragrances, let's say you are starting to build your collection right now and you don't want to wear scents that anybody can find at the mall, okay? And you're watching these YouTube videos, I would say you want something masculine, start with Ferris. This is just something that you know that you will get your most, like you'll get the most use out of a fragrance like this because you can use it anytime, anywhere. And as you're starting to kind of build off of this and be like, you know what, maybe I'll add a sweet fragrance. I'll find like the opposite of this scent. Then it just becomes easier to work off a fragrance like this. But if you're somebody that already has a collection established and you get Ferris, you're probably going to be like regretful of this scent because you'll be like, oh damn, like it's not doing anything special because you already have your working parts. You already have your fragrances that cover certain situations for you. So when you have something like this again in your collection, it might seem a bit repetitive to you. But if you're just starting out right now and you want the sexy, compliment getting fragrance you can wear anytime, anywhere, you will get that with Ferris. Like this is very sexy to the feminine nose. I've had women smell this on me on that night, the first time I tried it. But even with this fragrance right here, I've worn it a couple times already. And this shit is just so fire. Like even myself, when I'm just smelling it wafting in the air, I'm like, damn, this is a nice fragrance. All right. So if you are going on a date, you want to spray this on your clothes. You want to spray it, you know, and like when you give your date a hug and they'll smell it like, oh yeah, that's really nice. That smells so good. You know what I mean? It's just, this is a fragrance that you can't hate. Like it's it's going to be very hard to find somebody that hates this scent unless you go overboard and do like 50 sprays of it. Then yeah, that's going to piss anybody off with whatever fragrance you've got on. But yeah, this definitely a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comment section if you have tried this, if you do own it. And again, if you do want to try it and you don't currently own it, the discount link going to be in the description box below. And I do have that discount code for 20% off that ends on January 6th. All right. Anyways, I hope you have a great day and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.